snarls and grinds his fearful teeth. If you should hear its high-pitched cry, be sure to say your last goodbye.
Men, women, children, and everyone in between, gather round and coming closer, for I have a story to tell of dragons, sword fights, caves, and brave knights. You may have heard of the story of St. George and the Dragon? Yeah? But I bet you haven't heard the true version of how St. George came to meet the dragon? No? Well, this story is about a small boy who comes to meet a fire-breathing dragon for real. But not all is what it seems, but this is a rather different tale. So get yourself comfy, fill up a seat or a space on the floor, and put on your listening ears, for this is the story of... Yeah, lovely. Because this is the story of the reluctant dragon. Long ago, in a small cottage between an English village and the edge of darkness, a farmer and his wife lived with their young son. The little boy, when he wasn't helping his father, spent his time reading books, for he loved to read. His favourite books were fairy tales, especially when they had dragons and magical beasts in them.
What's today's story about, then?
It is about a sword in a stone that all the brave knights are trying to pull out, but they cannot, because they are not the true king.
That sounds exciting. Have you done all of your chores? Your father will be home soon.
Yes, mother.
The boy's parents treated their son like an equal, for where they were very knowledgeable about working on the land, they weren't good at reading and writing, whereas the boy was, so they would all help each other out. But his mother would often worry about the boy not having many friends.
You don't have to worry about me, mother. I've got plenty of friends. I've got a brave knight, monsters and wizards and beasts who can all fly.
But they're not real.
Oh, but they're much better than all the other kids in the village my age. They just want to run around and get into fights.
Just at that moment, his father flew open the door in such a panic, almost blowing out the fire.
I saw him! He was sticking his tail at Kenny above in the downs.
Now just stop you there. You almost blew out the fire with all your commotion. And you're bringing in mud on the clean floor.
What was it, Father? What did you see?
Why, him! He was as big as 4 cart horses, and he had shiny scales, and when he breathed, there was a flicker in his nostrils, and he had claws! Ooh, he had claws, great big claws, and he had a tail, that was for certain.
Don't worry, Father. It's only a dragon.
Only a dragon? What do you know about that?
Well, you know about things like the weather and farming. I know about dragons because I read about them in my book.
He's all right, you know.
Don't worry, I'll go down to him and speak to the dragon.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think that's a very good idea.
Your father's right, you know. I don't want my boy getting frosted alive by no fire-breathing monster.
Don't worry. I'll go in the morning because I know exactly what I'm going to say to him.
A dragon indeed. But between you and I, the boy didn't quite believe that it was a dragon that his father had seen. He knew that his father often had a wild imagination, which wasn't a bad thing, because that's where he got his imagination from. That very next day, the boy went up to see if he could find the dragon. True to his word, the boy marched through the fields and up the chalky track that led to the summit of the downs. And there, sure enough, he found the dragon. He was stretched out lazily by the entrance to the cave. He was just like his books had described. He had a big, strong, green, scaly body and a long tail, which twisted and turned with a pointy end to it. His wings were closed, but the boy was sure that when they opened, they were huge and powerful. He could not help but notice that the dragon was purring loudly like a cat when it's content and happy.
Well, when we live, we learn. But I never remember reading that dragons purr. Hello? Dragon? Hello? Hello?
Don't let me. And don't want salt and don't pour water or anything. I won't have it, I tell
hit you, and please, don't say the word don't. I am sick and tired of hearing it. It's so boring and makes me tired.
Oh, me too. It's just that everyone's always screaming in my face and trying to throw stones at me, and it's most unpleasant and quite frightening at times.
You can't be scared. You're a dragon.
And what does that have to do with it?
Well, dragons aren't supposed to be scared of anything.
Even dragons have feelings too, you know?
Oh, look, I've come up here to see how you were and all that sort of thing, but if I'm in the way, I can simply clear
No,
off.
don't let me off. The truth is, I'm just not used to people wanting to talk to me or ask how I am. I don't have many friends, you see, only my Aunt Bess. And she has a horrible sinus problem. And whenever she coughs or sneezes, she burns out everything in her path, and it's quite embarrassing.
How long do you plan on staying here, dragon?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure. It's a nice enough place, but the people here aren't very friendly. They just scream in my face all the time, and it's a rather serious thing, settling down, you know. And the truth is, I'm a rather lazy beggar.
Oh, well, you've surprised me.
Oh, it's the sad truth. All the other dragons are happy to be on the rampage, scouring the desert sands, pacing the margins of the sea, chasing knights all over the place, even devouring the odd damsel in distress. Whereas I much prefer to have my meals regularly, and I'm partial to the odd piece of radish or carrot. For between you and I'm not very fond of meat. It's far too chewy, and it gets stuck in your teeth. And then I like to pop my head up against a rock and take a nap. But that's when it happened. And I was caught out.
When what happened?
I don't precisely know. I suppose the earth sneezed or shook itself. But then all of a sudden I was miles away, underground, wedged in tight. And at first I was content, because my mind was occupied. And eventually I decided to work my way up to the earth, and I popped my head out here.
Okay, well, what was your mind occupied with?
Do you ever, just for fun, make up poetry verses?
Oh, of course I do! I've got plenty of them, and some are quite good, might I say. Well, the thing is, not a lot of people in this village appreciate poetry. My mother is very good. She listens to me when I read them out aloud, and so does my father, but, well, I guess I'm just a bit misunderstood.
Oh, well, me too. You've got culture. I can see that. I'd love for you to give some of your opinions on my poems.
Well, actually, I'm quite busy this evening, Dragon.
Oh, how about you come up here tomorrow night and have dinner? Only, of course, if you don't have anything better to do.
I would love to, but I don't think my parents would approve.
Oh, well, why ever not?
Well, because there's no getting over the fact that you are a dragon, okay? You're the enemy of the human race.
Oh, nonsense. I haven't got an enemy in the world.
I really wish you'd grasp the situation. You are a horrible monster and a pest.
There's not a word of truth in it. Look, listen to this poem I made up. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill collapsed with laughter.
Okay, if you're not going to be sensible, I'm just going to have to go home.
And the boy left. The dragon gave out a big yawn and went back to sleep. It was easy for the boy to persuade his parents about going to dinner with the dragon, as they considered him to be an expert in such matters as dragons. Although his mother was a little less keen.
If we have misjudged the situation, then I think it's only fair that we give the dragon the opportunity to prove himself. And if the boy says he's not dangerous, then I'm inclined to believe him.
I don't doubt that it is right to give him a chance. I'll even make a cake or a vegetable stew. But there's no escaping the fact that he's a dragon after all. We don't know who he is.
His mother made no objection though, just as long as he agreed to be home by 9 o'clock. And many pleasant nights they spent sitting by the cave
into a whole herd of cattle within seconds. I don't want him, that foul beast, eating through all my prize cattle. I can't do it.
Oh, I heard he likes eating and devouring beautiful maidens. After all, I'm rather scared he'll come after me. Besides, I'm the most beautiful lady in the whole county. Something must be done, I say. Something must be done.
I heard that the other villagers cry, dragon, dragon in the sky, look how high up it can fly, and if instead it should fly down, it'll surely burn through a whole town.
Dragon with his twisting, spiky tail can hit his target without fail. His bulging eyes are blazing red, while smoke is puffing from his head.
Fire breathing in the night, what a frightening and terrible sight, with winds so strong and silent, mercy, what dangerous tyrant.
Dragon, dragon, cruel and nasty beast, snarls and grinds and fearful teeth. If you should hear its high-pitched cry, be sure to say you lost the power.
Fire breather!
Noise maker!
Beer maker!
Earacher!
High flyer!
Oh Lord, the low swooper!
Night hater!
He cannot be allowed to stay.
He must go at once!
Something must be done, I say. Something must be done.
Something must be done, I say. Something must be done.
Something must be done, I say. Something must be done.
Something must be done, I say. Something must be done.
Something must be done, I say. Something must be done. Something must be done, I say. Something must be done.
Something must be done. I have heard of a brave knight who, well, he saved other villages from the towns of a different.
Ooh, do tell us more.
Well, they say that he is very brave. He's very strong. Hey, you see, he's slayed many dragons before.
Oh, he sounds dashing.
He sounds handsome.
He sounds like the perfect husband.
When can we fetch him?
I'll send for him at once.
And so Sir Giles sent for the brave knight whose name was known throughout the land. He was no other than Sir George the Dragon Slayer.
Sir Giles.
There you are. Thank you.
Now listen up and listen good. I'm the bravest knight in the hood. I like to beat a wicked enemy by sticking to rules of chivalry.
Oh, he's our knight. He's our knight. His main aim is to fight.
I wear my armor nice and tight so that it makes me strong in a fight. I like to wave my sword in the air to give my enemies a nasty scare.
Oh, he's our knight. He's our knight. His main aim is to fight.
I love to save a damsel in distress, and this indeed I must confess. I wave my right horse across the land looking dashing, mighty grand.
Oh, he's our knight. He's our knight. His main aim is to fight.
I've even slayed a dragon or two and had a lucky escape from a few. I'm always on hand to save the day, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, he's our knight. He's our knight. His main aim is to fight.
I chase ahead, never left nor right, and when I ride to war, I look a splendid sight. George is my name and is known afar, and after slaying dragons, I become the star.
Oh, he's our knight. He's our knight. His main aim is to fight.
Oh, thank God. I would really like to welcome you and thank you for fitting us into your busy schedule and, you're going to come and rescue us.
Isn't he dashing?
Isn't he brave?
I've heard he's the strongest knight from all around.
I heard he's slain over 2,000 dragons.
Well, I've heard it's more like 10,000.
Oh, I really must invite him for dinner.
Not before I do.
Beat it, Hilda. I'm the lady here.
Lady, who are you kidding? He's mine.
Mine! Mine! Mine!
Ladies, hold up, fingers, don't hold up the storm.
You may proceed.
As I was saying, St. George, on behalf of the village, may I welcome you here and thank you for coming to rescue us.
How may I, the bravest knight in all the land, be of service?
We have a little problem with a dragon.
Oh, I specialise in getting rid of dragons, don't you know?
I heard he lives in a cave by the downs.
And how many has he killed?
No.
Well, how many homes has he burnt to the ground? Cattle eaten, woodland singed?
None.
Not even one.
No, but he could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Very well. I shall stay the night and I'll go see the dragon in the morning.
St. George was not completely convinced, but he was a brave knight and true to his word. Meanwhile, word had got to the boy about St. George and the villagers' plans, and the boy rushed to warn the dragon.
Dragon! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Where's the fire? What's the noise?
No, he's here! He's here!
Who's here?
St. George, the Dragon Slayer.
What's that got to do with me?
He's come for you.
Okay. Well then, I'll have to put on my best jacket and tie. I'll put the kettle on. I wonder if he likes fairy cakes.
No. Look, he's not here to make friends, silly. He's here to slay you.
Well, that's all right then. But slay me? Why? Heavens, why?
Because you're a dragon, numpty. That's what he does. He slays dragons, and you're sure to be on his list.
No, I refuse to see him. I won't see him. And that's final.
Well, you're gonna have to see him, because he's sure to be around. And let me tell you, he has the longest, wickedest spear that I've ever seen.
Look, I don't want to meet the man at all. I'm coming out in pink spots already, in fear. I'm sure it's not nice. None of these knights are. All they think about all day is fighting and violence. It's not healthy.
Well, you're gonna have to fight him at some point.
Why does everything have to involve fighting? It's so lame and undignified. I'd much rather listen to music and write poetry.
No, because that's how the story goes, okay? He's St. George, the Dragon Slayer, and you're the dragon.
Oh, that's easily solved. I'll no longer be the dragon. I'll be a teapot. Or a beaver. Or a quiet mole. Tell him I'm not a dragon, I'm a mole.
I can't tell him you're a mole.
I'll be a cat. Or a cow. Or an owl. Or a chicken.
You're not taking this very serious, dragon.
Listen here, young man. I have never fought. In my life, I can't fight. I won't fight. And I'm not about to start now just so we can have a Roman holiday.
But if you don't fight him, dragon, he's going to chop your head off.
What? No! Yes, Pat, you have to come up with something to get me out of this. Pretty please.
No.
I leave it entirely up to you.
No, but
And with that, the dragon fled into his cave to hide. Although between you and I, with his tail sticking out one end of the cave, it wasn't much of a hiding place. Feeling rather despondent about the dragon's reaction, because he had hoped the dragon would fight. The boy went back home. He hardly touched his dinner, and he was frightened and quiet. In fact, he was in such deep thought that he didn't even hear his parents come into his room.
I don't understand. He's supposed to be a dragon. He's supposed to be big, strong, and fearless.
Maybe he is. Fighting doesn't always make you brave. In fact, some of the strongest and bravest creatures don't ever fight. Instead, they use words or actions
He worked the land his whole life. He used to sleep next to little baby cows in the house, so they had cover when they were born. He used to get up every morning at the crack of dawn at the sunrise, so he could plough the land and put food on the table. He was a strong man. He was a strong man with a good heart. He was my hero.
Oh, but this is a dragon who has fire-breathing breath, wings, and a huge tail. He's a fighter. My grandpa was only a farmer.
Not all dragons are the same, though. Just like you're not the same as the other children in the village. You like writing and reading.
And Edgar likes running around, and Henry likes to build tree houses.
And Annie, she likes to bake cakes. And I love knitting and sewing and lovely things like that.
And I like soaking my feet, my hairy feet actually, in a bucket full of warm water whilst I smoke my pipe.
Yeah. See, that's what makes us all different. We're all brave in our own way.
We're all different.
Well, the dragon is very good at poetry. But do not tell him I told you that.
That makes you laugh.
And he seems like a very good friend.
And so, that very moment, the boy came up with a plan. The boy decided to go and see St. George.
Excuse me, St. George, might I talk to you about a small misunderstanding about a dragon?
Do come in, my boy. Do you have a tale to tell about misery and wrong to tell?
None of the sort, really. That is the misunderstanding, you see. This is a good dragon.
Oh, I'm sure he's an excellent fighter. And I'm sure has the strength and horror typical of his tribe.
No. He's not horrible at all, I tell you. Actually, I've been spending time with him, drinking tea and reading poetry. He is a good dragon.
A good dragon? A good dragon? I've never heard of such a thing.
Okay. You and me, for example. We're both different. You, on one hand, scour through the land, rescuing towns and villages from burning and distress. Whereas I'm just a simple farmer's boy who works on the land and reads poetry. We're both human, but not the same, are we?
That's very true. And I do like a fella who sticks by his friends. But all night long, the villagers have been telling me about the horror and the murder and the betrayal. And so I must insist that this dragon must be slayed.
Oh, but St. George, you don't understand. These villagers are the biggest storytellers in all of the land. They don't understand. You see, this is a good dragon, and once you get to know him, you can't not like him, and all he wants is to be liked and have friends.
Oh, well maybe I've misjudged the animal. But I don't see any other way out of it. We're going to have to fight.
Well, how about you ask him quietly to go away?
Impossible! That's against the rules. Besides, that's not how the story's supposed to go.
Well, okay. How about you come with me and I bring you to the dragon and you can speak to him yourself?
Well, it seems rather odd, but it does seem like the most sensible thing to do. Cheer up, lad. Maybe there won't be a fight after all.
So, the next day, St. George and the boy went together to meet with the dragon.
Hello, dragon. I've brought someone for you to meet. This is St. George. He's here to talk to you.
Lovely to meet you, St. George. Charming weather we're having, isn't it?
Listen, dragon, I think we need to come to some sort of understanding about this little matter of ours.
I quite agree. Tea, fairy cakes?
Don't you think the simplest thing would be just to fight this out?
And what would that actually achieve? One of us would surely die, and for what? Just a whole load of unnecessary effort. And we're not even enemies. If you won, everyone would still think I'm a brute, and you just slayed another dragon. Whereas if I won, I would be even more misunderstood, and everyone would hate me more. Surely we have the chance to show them that there's another way.
I mean, you do have a point.
See, I told you he's different.
And besides, I refuse. You can't make me fight.
But what if I try and make her fight? What if I make you fight?
And I still refuse.
Well,
Everyone would see St. George slay a dragon that refuses to fight. And how would that look?
everyone would think that you are just a bully.
But everyone is expecting a fight.
Okay, how about St. George, you stab the dragon somewhere that doesn't hurt?
Like, pretend.
Exactly. Okay, so, then, when he stabs you, you can take the dragon away quietly, talk to him. Then, you can tell the villagers you've convinced the dragon to be a good dragon who will stay and protect. Then, everyone will like you, dragon, and St. George can still be a hero.
I suppose it could work. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if I stabbed you here, would it?
You're tickling me, George. Are you sure it wouldn't hurt?
I swear.
Well, I suppose we have to trust someone as we go through life. And this plan does seem like a good one.
But you do have to do your part and breathe lots and lots of fire and be really, really scary. Can we show the dragon how to be really scary?
Ah, that's pathetic.
Is that the best you can do?
No, I will practice before tomorrow, but I have to get some beauty sleep before tomorrow's fight.
Right, roll up! And come and see the mighty battle between the great beast and the brave, strong knight of St. George! Oh, watch the fire-breathing monster take on the sword-swiping fighter George in his final battle! Oh, gather round all you children, you mums, you dads, you grandmothers with hairy cheeks and your grandfathers with your little specks and all the other human beings.
Are you sure the dragon's going to be here? Oh, I can't fetch a walk. Why don't you go home then?
Hello. I'm here to support St. George. He's expecting me to cheer him on.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, yes, he is.
Don't start that again.
Just at that moment, St. George appeared and the crowd went wild.
He's our knight! His main aim is to fight! He's our knight! He's our knight! His main aim is to fight!
Are you sure he's going to be here?
He promised that he would come.
Look!
away with...
Sir Giles, I'll take it from here, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Well done. But the brave knight was quick to judge it, and dodged the fire just in time. He quickly rose to his feet and leapt forward, swinging his sword in front of the dragon. The two struggled together, fists and claws being thrown in the air. The dragon slapped the brave St. George, and the crowd booed. But just then, St. George returns with a punch on the end of the dragon's nose. Both continue to fight bravely. This is sure to be an exciting fight to the death. Suddenly, George jumps onto the dragon as he tries to stop him from showering the crowd with yet more flames. The crowd gasped in fear. The dragon moans aloud. We can barely look. Our hearts pound in fear of what is going to happen next. Just then, the dragon gives an almighty twist. A violent turn. And Sir George is thrown to the ground. The crowd goes silent as the dragon creeps towards the brave knight.
And now, prepare to die, St. George.
Never!
I'm hit. I'm hurt. I'm wounded. Ouch! Ouch!
The dragon drops to the floor.
I've been stabbed. Ow!
The dragon drops to the floor.
I'm slain.
Thank you.
St. George!
St. George has done it!
He's a knight, his main aim is to fight. He's a knight, his main aim is to fight.
The dragon was quickly tied up and put onto a cart and ridden away. The villagers all breathed a sigh of relief.
We're saved!
But we all know that this version of the story does not end here. Because remember that this was just a plan. Because once outside the village, the dragon was set free again, unharmed. St. George returned back to the village and declared that he had spoken to and persuaded the dragon that he should change his ways and be a good dragon. And that with the villagers' permission, should return to protect and look after the village from now on. He also told them that they shouldn't be so fond of fighting, because next time they might have to do it themselves.
What a rather splendid idea.
In fact, the idea went down better than expected, as the villagers soon realised that having a dragon has many benefits.
He does make wonderful fairy cake.
He just flew over and fixed the roof on my tower.
And his fire comes in handy when lighting our street lamps.
And he helps me lift heavy machinery.
And he tells such wonderful tales, and he invites us all to such wonderful banquets. I'm sure he writes such lovely poetry.
But, best of all, he's the bestest friend anyone could ever ask